Have you ever started to develop feelings for someone or just started liking them because they were just simply nice to you? And I know that may sound very pathetic or it may be very hard for you to admit, but it happens, especially like when they hold the door for you or they ask you how your day is going or they're just like simply nice. In this video, we're gonna talk about like why that actually happens. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Floriesha, and today in this video, we're gonna talk about why it's so easy to fall for people who are just nice human beings. Honestly, and it's really crazy for me to like sit here and say that, like, we fall for people who are simply nice. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna get into it. This video is part of my series called Lessons in Love, Becoming Whole from Within, where I am taking you guys on my self-love journey, where I am challenging stereotypical or outdated ideas around love, where I am pouring into myself and teaching myself that I am whole without a partner. So if you resonate with that, especially with the series and the whole like self-love journey and with this video, definitely keep watching. So now let's talk about why we fall for people who are really nice to us very quickly. As I've been starting to like get older, I started to realize that there are some people that treat people based off how much they're attracted to them. For example, if a guy is attracted to me, he'll be more nice to me. He'll treat me better. However, if I wasn't attractive to him, he wouldn't treat me nice. Like, he just wouldn't be a decent human being. I guess I started to realize that because I guess I was in a friendship or in groups where I honestly considered myself to be the ugly friend. And I think that like when you're in the position of being the ugly friend, or when you've taught yourself that you are the ugly friend, that idea mirrors like your reality. And so I started to realize that there were some people who just treated my other friends around me better than how they would treat me. I felt like I needed to be attractive in order to be seen by people, to be acknowledged by people, to be treated fairly and kindly by people. And just even saying that out loud makes me like very sad that that is the case for some scenarios, or like these are real things that people go through. And if you're a person that constantly have experiences where you feel ugly or people aren't noticing you or acknowledging your presence in friend groups or in settings or communities, you kind of feel like there's something wrong with you. But also it like reinforces this idea that like decency is rare, that people being nice to you is something hard to come by. So let's say like you have been so used to people disregarding you, not noticing you, disrespecting you, or not being nice to you. When someone does come into your life or approaches you with kindness and respect, you kind of get all giddy. You kind of get like, I don't know, not all in your head, but you're like, wait, like, does this person like me? Like, they were just like so nice to me. And that experience creates this idea that someone being nice to you is an indicator of them liking you, which is crazy, okay? Being nice to someone is the bare minimum, okay? And we'll get into that more, but like being nice to you should not be like a thing that you tick off the box, like, oh my God, he's nice. Like, no, baby, that's a requirement. You're supposed to be nice to me and you're supposed to be nice to other people around you. So here's the problem with conditional kindness. Being respectful should be a standard, not something that is conditional based off whether you find someone attractive or not. And I know a lot of people say that like, oh, as human beings, we don't owe anyone nothing. We don't owe strangers nothing. To a certain degree, I understand that idea, but you shouldn't treat people with kindness or respect based off whether you find them attractive or not. Every human being deserves respect. Every human being deserves decency, kindness. Those are simple things. And I think that's why a lot of people feel like they're ugly, or when you feel like you're ugly, you feel like you are meant to experience such things of people not acknowledging your existence, of people treating you like shit. I don't like to swear, but literally like shit, because that's what society has kind of conditioned us to believe and like, I don't know, like understand that like in order to be treated as a good person, or in order to be treated good period, you need to be attractive. And you know what, I think I'm going on a tangent, but I know there's a lot of like criminal like shows or documentaries where serial killers often like get to women because they're like good looking, because someone's good looking doesn't mean that they're a good person. I think that like sometimes we can associate pretty looks with a person being a good person. They're not mutually like, I don't like, what's the word? I don't think they're mutually like, I don't know what's the word, but just because someone is beautiful doesn't mean that they're a good person or that they're safe. But also, I'm gonna just be real. Treating someone good or with kindness and respect just because you like think they're attractive makes you shallow. It just simply is that. It makes you shallow, and it really shows the depth in which you come to understand people or even like build connection with people. If you're only liking someone or treating someone with respect because you find them visually attractive, like there's work that needs to be done there, because there's a lot more to just someone's physical surface like level of things for you to decide whether you should treat someone with respect. And honestly, that's an indicator for me of whether I want this person in my life or not. And usually because I was that friend who would often be like disregarded or just like not even like acknowledged in settings where certain men found people around me attractive, I started to realize that I don't want to be around people who do that, because it's very much a dehumanizing experience. It makes you feel like you're not worthy of being seen, of being heard, of being respected and treated with kindness because you aren't attractive to the person. And that's literally insane. And it sets the tone that kindness, that love or respect are contingent or conditional on meeting certain criterias. And I'm not even just talking about like romantic relationships. I'm also talking about platonic relationships. I do not want friends who are friends with me just because they think that like, oh, she's like one of those girls who gains a lot of attention, or she's one of the pretty girls, like we should be friends with her. Because baby, if that's what you think, then we should not be friends. I am a whole human being. Like the surface layer of human beings gradually change and evolve, and we gradually become old. If that is the one thing that's keeping you here, that's a very much temporary and fleeting, and it's just not very like genuine. I already know that when I get into a relationship, I am going to be like analyzing and observing how my partner treats people around them, like strangers, waitresses, because I feel like that speaks volumes. But my main point like around conditional kindness is that it really reinforces the idea that love is transactional, that you being seen, acknowledged, loved, or respected by a person, again, is conditional and contingent on certain things that you must tick off in order to receive that. And that is completely wrong, and that is not love at all. I feel like this has happened to me a lot, where I would cling on to people or grow an attachment to someone or start developing feelings for someone because they were simply nice to me. And I guess I did that because I was so used to people, again, not noticing me, acknowledging me, or treating me with kindness and respect. And so when someone out of the ordinary, or when someone did treat me with that, it made kindness seem special and something that I should like just like hold on to, because it's not a normal experience for me, or it wasn't a normal experience for me. And I'm here to say that just because someone is nice to you doesn't mean that they're interested in you. And that is something that took me a very long time to seep and to understand. But I also feel like there are some guys, because now, I mean, I've always been a nice person, but because I smile a lot and when I talk my dimples come out, and like I'm just a naturally like giddy and I guess like playful person, that my kindness can sometimes be mistaken as me flirting or liking someone. And I think sometimes I can sometimes end up in situations where even guys are like, oh, like she likes me, or you know, da da da. And I'm like, no, I'm just kind, like, and maybe they're also not used to girls that they are interested in or whatever being nice to them just cause. Like, why is being nice to someone conditional? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And so I don't necessarily blame them, because I also did it. Like, I also developed feelings for someone. I thought someone liked me because they were being nice to me. But it really sets the tone of just like, people are only nice to you until they like you, until they want something from you. It kind of like mirrors the idea of like you know, the hard stone girls or the hard stone boys who are only nice and kind to their girlfriends or boyfriends. You guys know what I'm talking about, like when you sometimes see stuff from Pinterest or whatever that like, oh, I want a boyfriend who's like mean to everyone, who's like cold and, you know, standoffish to everyone but me. Like, you know, it makes me feel special, makes me feel chosen. And to be honest, y'all, I used to be like, yeah, like that is so like cool, like but now I'm just like, that's pretty much toxic. Like, I want a partner who is nice to everyone. Like, I don't want it to be contingent on certain things because we all deserve kindness and respect. The lesson in love in today's video is love starts with expecting more than the bare minimum. Respect and kindness are not things given based off conditions. When we start labeling things like kindness, respect, decency as like bare minimum, we set the foundation of expecting more, or we set the standard of wanting and knowing that we deserve more than that. You deserve more than someone who is just nice to you. Like, there's so much, like, y'all, I'm also speaking to myself as I'm also speaking to you as well. But like I said, when you label kindness, respect, common decency as bare minimum, there's a shift. You start to realize that you deserve more. You start to realize that you deserve someone who shows up for you consistently, who makes time to get to know you, like deep connection without any conditions, without you having to perform or overgive or be someone that they want you to be or that you feel like you need to be in order to receive their love or respect or kindness. But I really want to reiterate that when you believe that someone being nice to you is hard to come by, or that a man or whoever, you create a tone or you set the foundation of just accepting or clinging on to anyone who shows you kindness or just even a little bit of it. And when people start to realize that you're in with just crumbs or bare minimum, then they know that they don't have to do more. They know that they don't have to give you princess treatment. They know that they don't have to do anything that goes beyond bare minimum because you've accepted bare minimum. Like I said, I've done it too. I've also developed attachments to people who were kind to me, who simply acknowledged my presence, who just like wanted to have a conversation with me. And it's only because I thought that experience was something for me to cling on to or almost like celebrate or reward, because that wasn't something that I was used to. But it only wasn't something that I was used to because I taught myself to believe that I wasn't worthy of more. I taught myself that I was ugly, and my reality reflected that idea, which allowed me to be in situations and environments where I was constantly disregarded, not acknowledged, and just I didn't experience any respect or kindness. And I won't say that this happened a lot, but I will say it did happen a lot when I was insecure in myself and when I was comfortable being in the shadows, being unseen, being unheard, because I didn't know that I deserved more. And I'm here to tell you that there is plenty of people who are going to treat you with kindness and respect and do a lot more. But yeah, guys, that was just my little tangent. I thought that was just something that was honestly very mind-boggling to me. And I realized that, again, I've also done this. Even like in middle school or high school, like I feel like I only treated people who I found attractive with like more respect or kindness. I did a little extra things, or I viewed people who I found attractive in a very like, you know, different light. But like as I started to like grow older and I got into college, I started to realize that like, yo, there's a lot of people here in my community or even in society who tend to disregard people, or just, I don't know, just tend to dehumanize people because they don't find them attractive. They don't find them worthy of being kind to, or, you know, being respectful to them because they're not attractive. As I close out this video, I want to say that if you are a person who feels ugly or who has taught yourself that you are ugly, I promise that you are not. I promise that you are a lot much more beautiful than you give yourself credit for. And I know that we live in a society where sometimes people treat us good or bad based off whether they feel that we are worthy or deserving of kindness or respect. And I'm here to tell you that if you are in communities or friend groups or whatever, even romantic relationships, if you feel like you're in a dynamic like that, just know that those people are not for you. Because even when you start to become more confident in yourself, or when you have a glow up and they start to treat you differently, you know that they never really liked you for who you were or are. Liking someone based off someone's physical appearance or based off physical appearance period is very shallow, it's very rude, it's just, I don't know, it's just very much ugly. And that's the thing. I don't like to say this, but very much like being pretty or being ugly is really all about energy to me. You can be seen as the most physically attractive person on this earth, but if you act out of ugly energy, I'm sorry. I don't want nothing to do with you, and I already categorized you as someone who is like ugly. And I'm not talking about physically, I'm talking about energy wise. That is my opinion. And I'm here to tell you that you deserve more, because I've been in it and I know how it hurts for someone to for someone to just like not acknowledge your presence, to not even take the time to say, hey, what's your name? Or like, or I saw you there, or take the time to talk to you. I know how it feels, and trust me, I've had nights where I've kind of just like cried, and I was like really upset that like I just wasn't acknowledged, because I guess I wasn't pretty enough or I wasn't worthy enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are, and that hopefully you get to get out of that environment or dynamic very soon. But just know that people's behaviors and actions are not an indicator of your physical appearance or of your worth and of your value as an individual. So I am definitely going to make a video about this, but I just wanted to tell you because I know how it feels to feel invisible and unseen in this world. And it's the most, again, like dehumanizing, sad experience. And I'm here for you, and I love you, and I just want to let you know that I see you. And then again, I will be making a video about this, so stay tuned for the video. Definitely subscribe, comment, I don't know, just talk to me, because I love chatting with you guys. Literally every time you guys comment, I'm just like, I got a comment from one of my babies. So please just like comment, let me know. But I love you so much. Stay tuned for the next one.